Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at another video towards the Jungle Cup. Today we're going to have a very interesting team here. I really want to try out the Gyarados. And so today we're going to have a team that is an early veteran team that I stole from Twitter. So shout out to Executor. We're going to have here a team with a double ice set of the Bomber Snow with the Weather Ball as well as Icy Wind, which is very interesting. The Gyarados as our main say swap, but you can also use the Quagsire, and they of course have Quagsire in the back. Quagsire running a Water Gun, the Twister on the Gyarados, of course, and the double ice moveset, or like the triple ice moveset actually on the Bomber Snow is going to be the movesets here, which is kind of interesting, very interesting team, just generally speaking. And so I want to try it out. I want to see how strong the Shadow Gyarados now finally is after the recent update. And then comes here the Quagsire from the opponent running Mudshot, which allows me to still get the Aqua Tail off, allows me to go into my Bomber Snow, allows me to debuff them with our double ice moveset with the Icy Wind here right now, which is going to make it way easier for us because they have no chance of really winning this. I can even undercharge this where the ball's coming through. They're going to be able to get some damage onto ourselves because I want to win with my own Quagsire. Stone Edge is coming in. They're going to debuff, like, they're going to try to not gain as much energy as well, but here now it's going to be our Quagsire against the Scissor. We can still farm them down before they get to their Trailblaze, and with that we're going to be able to win the battle. So, horrific lead, but we're going to be able to sub out into our Gyarados, and we would even able to outspeed them here, which is going to more say force a shield from the opponent. I don't really say why you would want to stay in here as a Talonflame, but I'm not going to complain here because what we have is a matchup that we're going to be able to win, as the Gorgeist is coming in next, which is going to go for some resisted fast move damage here, which is fantastic for us because I don't really want to take a lot of fast move damage with the Gyarados. Gyarados is quite squishy, but we also are able to hit this move here, which is now going to allow us as well to get them into farm range for either this Pokemon, our Gyarados, or later even the Water Gun version here of our other Pokemon is going to be fine, of our Quagsire, as we're going to have another Twister landing against the opponent. Twister, very strong move, as you're going to see here as well. I do think it's a stronger move compared to the Aqua Tail. I do think it is a bit stronger than the Aqua Tail, just damage-wise. But here, Cordelia is going to go for a charge move. They're going to swap out, and I have Water Gun Quagsire, which is going to still be able to take a hit here from the opponent. A Brave Bird is not going to be enough to knock us out, which now allows us to get them low, and low enough that we can farm them down with our Bomber Snow. Firebird goes down from a Bomber Snow, double Weather Ball is stored, and we're going to be able to knock them out with this, Christmas tree. I don't know. Very interesting Pokemon, interesting design definitely here, but we're going to be able to knock out the Cordelia, and we can move on to the next opponent. We will face off against a Quagsire in the lead. They swap out straight away into the Piloswine, which is actually a very solid matchup for us. We have both neutral damage here against each other, but we would also have both super effective damage if we really wanted to. Of course, we don't have the Energy Ball in our case, which does mean we don't have super effective damage directly against Piloswine, but we would have it in theory, and the opponent, of course, doesn't know our moveset immediately. They, of course, have Stone Edge, but here we are going to use a shield against them, farm them all the way down. Quagsire comes in, they have Mudshot, and I was too slow at throwing my charge move, which is really unfortunate because it forces me to throw up another shield here, which is not ideal. In comes Altaria, and I kind of misplay this battle quite a bit because now, Altaria is up against us. I don't really have the best answer. Like, I have a good answer against them, but Bomber now goes down to any kind of charge move there. So if I just went for the Aqua Tail earlier, I would have won this battle already, but I made it now very, very close. I hope I can still win this, but it's going to be a tough one. In comes here Sky Attack, that's going to drop them low. I can go for the full farm down. They're going to swap out into their own Quagsire, and I will be able to reach another Aqua Tail. And now I can get to another Aqua Tail. And this is the funny thing, I have two more Aqua Tails stored on our Quagsire. So we have two Legacy Aqua Tail users here, but this is going to allow us to get the KO easily here, as well as they're going to be able to go for another Aqua Tail, 4 back to back to back to back. And the Altaria is going to go down as well. Aqua Tail for the win. This was kind of crazy, and we can move on to the next opponent. We will face off against one of the hardest answers for this team. It's going to be Fortress, especially Volt Switch Fortress, which luckily we don't face here. But Fortress is going to be one of the most difficult Pokemon, and it was the Pokemon that definitely gave me the biggest troubles. This Pokemon was very difficult to destroy, and in comes the opponent's Gyarados against our Gyarados. We're now debuffed, I think, at this point. We're going to be able to go for the Twister, get the shield, show me we went for the bait instead. At the end of the day, they're going to knock me out early anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I can align myself at least here. I'm going to get some use out of my non-Shadow Bomber Snow, which is going to be fantastic. I can go for the Weather Ball. That's a CMP type. I don't really care too much. They can go for it. They can go for the Twister. I just need to get rid of the Gyarados here because it's also going to be one of the harder answers to the Quagsire. This thing goes down, Quagsire comes in against the opponent's Fortress, they stay in for a little bit, and they're gonna swap out now into the Altaria, where I do have Stone Edge, which is going to do some solid damage against them, but I don't really see the way of winning against the opponent's Fortress now at this point. Like, the issue is we are not going to be able to reach another move here. Yeah, no, there's no way. I need to bait there. Then I need to get the Stone Edge off, and then maybe had a chance. But I did not do any of that, and they're going to be able to knock me out here. I do actually think it would have been possible if we baited there first time. Okay, fantastic lead. Stunfisk against us is going to be amazing. We have also the Quagsire in the back, which is fine. Okay, in comes Talonflame. We most likely won this. Like, we completely hardballed 2 of the opponent's Pokemon already. The opponent's going to be like, yeah, okay, yeah, we just go forward. Next up, Tentacruel. That is going to be quite alright. That's what you would think, but then actually it's not. Here, what is wrong with Tentacruel? Tentacruel is going to be Pokemon where Gyarados is actually our best Pokemon to counter it. We have a ground type, but ground type that doesn't run any ground type moves, and that's actually does run resisted damage against this Pokemon, which is not ideal at all. In comes Moltres. Okay, Moltres is actually alright. We are going to be able to go for the Aqua Tail. We're going to get some damage onto them. We can go for another Aqua Tail. We're going to get most likely some more damage onto them as well. Here, we actually get a knockout. That doesn't make any sense at all. I don't know why they do that. But here comes the Flamigo. Flamigo now access to Wing Attack, which is a bit stronger, is another Pokemon I need to try out. I want to try out Hawlucha as well. I want to try out Hawlucha maybe even in this meta. I see for tomorrow. Hawlucha is a very interesting Pokemon. I like this Pokemon a lot, just generally like the design of it. I think it's such a unique, iconic Pokemon. Yeah, I think Hawlucha is a fun one. Maybe we want to try it out tomorrow on this channel. We see. I still haven't done my battles for the day. I actually took a little bit of a break for Go Battle League as well. It's always healthy to take some breaks. And here in comes the Flamigo. They're forced to go for the, what's called, the Brave Bird in order to knock us out. That's why I went into my Quagsire here, because now I have them debuffed, and even if they somehow knock one of my Pokemon out, they won't knock out all of mine. Gyarados against us is going to be an interesting Pokemon. It's going to be a lead that I actually like quite a lot, because we should generally win this battle. I think I swapped out into the Fortress. No, never mind, I didn't. It looks like a Bug Bite came through, but I guess I just blind. That is also nice to know, as we all have now the Twister coming in. Again, we kind of want to play this one out. The swap out into the Piloswine is going to be alright for us, because we have still our own Quagsire. And I should swap out straight away, and I do swap out straight away. This is really nice. This is really important, because I need to farm them down before they get to another charge move. And Water Gun is just going to be better than Powder Snow in this case, because I don't want to shield here. Of course, I have now a ton of energy, which I can utilize even against the Gyarados that we saw earlier. We have the Stone Edge, which basically would one-shot them, sorry. But you also have the Aqua Tails, which would also kind of knock them out here. Their Aqua Tail comes through. I have 2 Aqua Tails kind of stored. That's why it was kind of worth it for me to use a shield here, as now I can get rid of them. But also they're going to reveal that they have the Digger Spear in the back. And with that, I kinda already think I won this battle. The only way I could lose this is if they have Fire Punch Hyper Beam and somehow they are outspeeding, then also still a Bummer Snow. Let's see. They have Scorching Sands. Yeah, okay, good game. There's nothing they can do. Like, this is the thing as well. Water Flying is such a hard counter to Digger Speed. It's kind of crazy. And yeah, we're going to be able to win with all 3 of our Pokemon left. So it's a very good team to run. Generally speaking, it's a very good team to run, but I would be lying if I would say that there is no answer to this team. Like, this team is definitely very specific towards this meta and like kind of what they most likely encountered in their Elo range. If you don't encounter Fortress, this team is not an issue. If you encounter Fortress, this team can be an issue. That's literally on how it is. Greninja against us here. Interesting Pokemon. Maybe I should take a look at Greninja as well, but I feel like I always take a look at Greninja every single, potential option where I would have that. But here, they're going to go ahead and go for that charge move. The Night Slash is coming in. And we're going to be able to go for the full farm down against the opponent as the Drapion is coming in up. Like next year, we're going to have the charge move coming through. The Weather Ball is going to get them low. In comes our Gyarados, which at least has some nice pressure with a fast move. And the charge moves kinda, but they're going to outspeed us because they had a ton of energy advantage. Crunch comes in. I'm going to go straight because I know about how much energy they kind of have here. The Aqua Tail is going to get the shield from the opponent, and they're just going to try to knock us out here, but I'm going to use another shield. I hope they don't reach 2 crunches, but I could be wrong. They swap out here into the Clodsire, which is very interesting. This Clodsire is a Pokemon that we have great answers against, and with that, I can just go for 2 Aqua Tails. The Switch Clock is up, and I could even try to kitchen move onto the Quagsire, which I'm going to just swap out into the Quagsire. This is going to be game, because now they just don't have anything really against me anymore. They realize it now as well, and they're like, yeah, you have the better Quag. we can move on to the next opponent. Alright, Piloswine. It's playable in the lead, especially if they go straight for the move. I don't have to shield this one now. There's going to be the Icicle Spear guaranteed, and so I don't have to shield at all. We're going to have here the Weather Ball coming through. We are going to have the Gyarados in here as well, and we're going to be able to go for another Awkward Tail, which is going to allow us to get some nice shields from the opponent. They're now 2 shields down. I have the Piloswine against the Gyarados. I could maybe even farm them all the way down. They very likely do a little bit more damage than I do, so that's not really ideal. In comes Licky. Not the ideal Pokemon, but we have at least have Twister, which again does a tiny bit more damage, I think, and allows me maybe to swap out here. I should have went for the Awkward Tail. I maybe would have been able to reach 2 in time, but I will now let the move go. I can swap out into the Quagsire. I can take the resisted fast move damage. They're gonna go straight for, I think, a Body Slam here should be. It is the Body Slam, yep. And I could try to catch the move here, and I do try to catch the move. Unsuccessfully, they're gonna catch the move onto the Gyarados, which is actually kind of alright for me, as now I put them maybe even into range for just the Awkward Tail, right? Like Awkward Tail's coming through. If this gonna knock them out, we're actually not in a bad position at all. Can Quagsire go for the reverse sweep? We knock out the Gyarados, which is important. We get the Piloswine out, which we have to shield up against. We can try to farm them down, get to another Awkward Tail against the opponent's other Pokemon here. We're gonna be able to go for the full farm down at least. In comes the Licky. We can go for the Awkward Tail. Does Quagsire just sweep the opponent here? Quagsire just did sweep the opponent, which is kind of wild. A very good Pokemon, also with a Water Gun. Okay, it is maybe a tiny bit embarrassing, but Rufflet actually kind of was a bit of a struggle for me. And I faced this Rufflet Bibarel team like 2-3 times, and I have no idea who made this team. You can't tell me that people came up with the same very silly idea of running Rufflet plus Bibarel, especially as Rufflet is not even really the best Pokemon kind of just generally of its type. Like there are a lot of normal and flying type Pokemon, as you know, and Rufflet wouldn't really say it's the best Pokemon of them. But Rufflet in the situation it's in currently is a monster, because of what we see here is I have to swap out the HG because I'm so scared of this Pokemon. Rufflet is an absolute monster because you have extra Rock Tomb. It's just going to be able to spam this move, but I just got so much energy that it was just so scary for me. The Fly comes in. Okay, in comes the Quagsire. I can go for the debuff at least. They're very likely going to use a shield here, hopefully. They do. That's great, because now I still gonna be forced to kind of take a Stone Edge, most likely. But I get some damage in here first with the Weather Wall, which is fine. And if they go for the Stone Edge here, I still should be able to outspeed them with the Gyarados. They go for Stone Edge. I should be able to just get straight to my Awkward Tail, and I should be able to knock them out in time. Yes, I do. Unless the Rufflet somehow still gets another charge move, it is going to be it here. We should be able to win this battle, and yes, we can. The opponent forfeits, and we can move on to the next opponent. Togekiss here is going to be up against us. This Pokemon is going to be a Pokemon that, yeah, we're just going to be winning against with our lead. Our lead is very good against it, to the point that I expect them to swap out, which they do here. Go into the Licky. I have the option to go for the Icy Wind, which is the reason why we have this move, and debuff the opponent early, which now allows me to just win this battle. Like, this is going to be allowing me to at least align myself, is what I mean with that. I have the option to go for an Awkward Tail here, which I need to do in order to get the knockout, but I'm shields down now, which is a little bit annoying. Like, I have 1 shield less than the opponent, but I'm going to be in a position now where I'm still going to have the option to at least here realign myself. I might even be able to go for an Awkward Tail still against the opponent's Togekiss, which I am going to be able to do. And now I could even swap on into my lead again. Okay, I'm going to let them knock me out. It's just 1 fast move. I guess it's just a safer play, especially as we have Icy Wind still against whatever they have in the back. In comes the Aura Sphere. We have to be a bit mindful. They're going to stay in here, which means I'm going to go for my charge move, and they go into the Quagsire. And this is going to be a bit tough. I am forced to go kind of straight into my Gyarados. I do outspeed them, but they are of course going to try to go for the Stone Edge. And I have to play this really smart, and I do think I'm in a very, very, very bad position. But never mind. Okay, the opponent just doesn't throw their energy. I think they had a Water Gun, which is also going to not help them. Yeah, we just won. Sorry, like, that's going to be a good game. Unless, yeah, never mind. This is going to be it. Good game to the opponent. Again, team is actually very solid. I would really recommend you to try this team out. We're going to have here Gyarados against us. This is going to be fine. This is going to be yeah, the matchup that you kind of want to see. This is exactly where you kind of want to see this Pokemon, as you're going to be able to resist the water type damage, which means they're forced to go for Twister, and we're generally outspeeding the opponent here, and we're winning this in 2 different shield scenarios. As I swap out into the Licky, that is fine. I can go into my Quagsire now, and I can still have the advantage of both having shield as well as damage advantage there. Like, the opponent already had some damage on them. I should not go for the Stone Edge here. I should just go for the double Awkward Tail. But I expected that the opponent would very likely... Okay, never mind. They were going to go for another charge move immediately anyway. I was expecting that they were very likely just going to... Yeah, let the move go, I guess, at this point. The Awkward Tail is going to knock them out. We're not in a bad position. Like, this is going to knock them. They're going to go into... Okay, Lantern. Lantern is going to be a bit of a problem. Lantern is going to be actually... Wait, Lantern is a ginormous problem for this team. I didn't really realize it before I had this specific battle. I don't have anything to hit Lantern, which is funny because I have 2 of the hardest answers to Lantern. But I don't have anything to hit it. And so, yeah, Awkward Tail comes through, is going to get nowhere. I can go for the Stone Edge here, but they're very likely going to use their shield. They didn't. Okay, Lantern goes down, but now it's Gyarados against Gyarados. Can we win this? It's going to be close. I need to farm them down. Okay, they're going to get to another move. I have to shield here. Do they get to another one afterwards? Twister comes in. Yes, they do. They're going to win the battle here. That's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.